Hi, in this video I want to talk about one of the most important practices throughout this whole journey. And it's really a practice that is important, like from start to finish. And after the finish, if there's a finish at all. It applies to recovery, it applies to awakening and going deeper, but it applies to everyone in general life. It's for everyone, this practice. And it's basically being willing to feel everything that's in your experience right now. And then I'm talking mostly about physical sensations that are here. You could label them as emotions. They're emotions. But yeah, whatever sensations are there, the willingness to feel them unfiltered, raw, being in contact with it so closely, without making up a story, without telling yourself a story about the sensations, is so important and so freeing eventually. It's very hard at the beginning at times. It will help you so much in both recovery and after that, in freeing yourself from the mind, the small mind. I think a lot of people who get these types of illnesses, there's something going on before you get this, and a part of that is emotional repression. I'll make a video about this soon, about all the factors that, in my opinion, come into play with people getting these types of illnesses. But now I just want to focus on trying to tell you that you can feel everything in your experience, and it's so worth it to do it, to feel it. It has a lot of, you will gain a lot out of it, and at times it will seem too much, way too much. In the beginning, usually when we kind of get this, that this is a practice that will be good for us, beneficial, we try to do it, but the mind is just so active, and it will keep pulling you back into a story about the sensations. So it will tell you, this is too much, I can't feel this. Or it will tell a story about how you got this sensation. Oh, this is because of this, and it's gonna last this long, and it's all to those kind of thoughts are there to cover up the feeling of uncertainty, for example. You don't know how long the sensation is gonna stay, but that feeling of uncertainty is too much to feel for you at that moment. So the thoughts are trying to pull you out of it and trying to catch you by saying, oh, this is this and that, I have a crash, this is PEM, this is gonna last this long, and now this is gonna happen, I have to do everything all over again, blah 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 blah. It's all to avoid, again, a certain feeling. And in the beginning it's so hard to distinguish those thoughts from the feeling. It gets intertwined, and yeah, you get caught up in the story, and then you miss the whole feeling again, and the story reinforces the feeling, and it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. All these interpretations of the sensation, and I think that's what happens with a lot of us in the beginning. And after we kind of start to disidentify from thoughts and start to get more in touch with the body and the sensations, and we kind of sense that it's quite innocent, all those sensations. You can feel them, there's no danger in it. It gets easier and easier to feel it, to just feel it. So, oh yeah, there's the story again. What if I just drop it? What if I just feel whatever is usually in between, under the neck and the gut? The chest and the gut are usually the most intense, with just sensations, squirmy sensations, things moving around, contractions, and we can just drop into that and surrender to it. Drop the story and just feel it, raw, get closer, drown yourself into it, and it can be so freeing, especially later on. And there will be times again later on it will get easier, but more intense stuff will come up, and this can be described as the shadow that comes into consciousness, gets into the light. And usually at that time you have some experience with dealing with those feelings. So in that sense, it's easier, but the things that come up can be more intense. But usually at that time, there in the back of your head, you know it's kind of fake somewhere. It's real in the sense you can feel it. It's very real, but it's not about you. It's the story, and you can feel it, but the feelings are there because of certain beliefs and certain stories that just need to be felt. And you are watching it. Those feelings of you losing it, losing all the progress after you've had maybe a flare-up, a crash. Those feelings are about you at that point. It feels like I've lost it. Everything, all the progress I made, I've lost it. It's gone. And at that point, after a while, you realize that's kind of fake. It's not about you. It's just a story, and you're witnessing it. And then you can it's easier to take a step back and to just watch it play out, how it does. And to hold the sensations, give it like a warm hug. It's okay. You can be there. And this is also kind of a kind of critique I have on brain retraining courses, where there's a subtle resistance to certain parts of your experience in doing these courses, because you will get certain experiences and you will say, for example, the stop technique, which is quite popular, things like you do like stop, and then you try to reform it into a positive thing, something negative. But that again is just adding another layer of emotional repression on top of it. It's time to just empty the tank. It's time to feel everything that wants or needs to be felt, and there will be an end to it. This is not gonna be feeling will be there until the end of your lifetime, but the intensity that there is right now will come to an end. You can feel everything, like also another layer, like you have some feeling, I've lost it, or I don't have hope anymore, hopelessness. And then there's resistance towards feeling that hopelessness. And then you can feel the resistance. You don't have to push the resistance away. You can feel all of it completely. What a relief. So good. Meditation, of course, really helps with this. You will get more in touch with your body, more in touch with what's happening. You slow down the stream of thoughts and you will see what's actually happening. So I recommend every time to start a regular meditation practice and to sit whenever things get heavy and intense. And you will notice as well that when you will be going back into life, engaging again with more things that will trigger you in day-to-day life, you will see that most of the things are bringing something up in you, and that's what it's about. What feeling does it provoke in you? It's not about the thing someone else does. If someone gets mad at you for no reason, and the person swears at you, and it hurts something in you, and you feel offended, you feel like you've been done wrong. Of course, there's a fine line that you need to set healthy boundaries. If someone is abusing you, you have to set boundaries and do whatever it takes to remove yourself out of that situation. But usually, we reflect the things that get triggered into you back to other people. It's like, that person shouldn't have done that, or he's such a asshole. But it triggers something in you, and that's the valuable part, to go to the sensation in you and to feel it. Like, why is this triggering me? Why is it triggering when someone says to me, yeah, you're blah blah blah? Because some things wouldn't trigger me at all. If someone would say to me, yeah, you're so shit at say whatever, volleyball. Yeah, I have no identity in being a good volleyball player. But there are certain things that would trigger me because I have kind of a belief around it that I'm good in a certain area or whatever. So that's really interesting to investigate. Whatever's happening in your life is all just an invitation for you. Everything that triggers you is an invitation for you to explore what is inside of you, what kind of beliefs you have, how you think things should be, how you should be, the image of your identity. Things will look a lot different when you kind of got this and go back into life, and normally shitty situations would occur that would make you mad or trigger you in some kind of way. It will all be an opportunity for you to go deeper. So yeah, it's such an interesting path, this, and I recommend it to everyone. It goes way beyond recovery. It's about freedom. It's about freeing yourself from all those shackles of the mind. So yeah, it's such a valuable practice for the rest of your life. And to add some practical things, while you're sitting, while things get heavy, you can just close your eyes and try to sink into whatever you're feeling and kind of drop in some of those inquiry questions like, what am I resisting here? What kind of sensations am I resisting? You can investigate the thoughts, like what kind of thoughts are associated with this feeling? What kind of beliefs am I playing around with? Can I get closer to the sensation? What if I drop all barriers? What if I just completely feel it? And then notice the thoughts, like, that's too much, it's too much. And then you see yourself distracting yourself. The mind is throwing thoughts at you that will be good for you, that will work for you, that will get you out of feeling it directly. So yeah, it's very personal to what will work for you, but it's practice is the answer. And yeah, it's gonna be tough at times, but it's gonna be freeing at times, and it's worth it. So that's the thing I wanted to say today. I hope it will lead to some freedom in some of you. Then I will be happy. Finally. No, just kidding. Yeah, I hope this resonates with some of you, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Good luck.